Hey there everyone, it is Genevieve and we're in Test Realm. Every single lore spell has been changed, so let's check it out. We're going to start with balance. Alrighty, previously Spiritual Tribunal did damage of either life, myth, or death in various amounts. The three different tiers, the only difference between them is which one of the spells you wanted to be able to do more damage. The top path, life, did more damage than death, then myth. The middle path, death did more damage than myth, then life. And the bottom path, myth did more damage than life, then death. This new one, however, tier 1, still does the same thing of either life, myth, or death damage. But when you get to tier 5, life still does the most amount of damage, then death, then myth. But now there's an increased chance that it's going to do life damage. If you choose the middle path, it does 315 damage in one of those three schools and then 390 heal over time for 3 rounds. The bottom path, it's doing way less damage for one of those 3 schools, and it does a lot more healing at 570 heal over time for 3 rounds. So what are your choices with this? You're doing different amount of damage, or you're doing less damage and a little bit of heal over time, or you're doing way less damage and a lot heal over time. Next is Ninja Piglets. Previously, tier 1 just did damage. The upper path continued to just do damage as you upgraded it. The lower path, however, did a very small amount of damage and then a very large deferred damage that took 5 rounds to detonate, unless you had something to detonate it. Now, the top path continues to just do damage. The middle path does small damage and small deferred damage after 3 rounds. If you choose the bottom path, the deferred damage, there's 2 of those that get put on instead of just 1, and that damage goes up as you upgrade it. Maxing out at 700 damage, so there'll be 2 of them at 350 each, but they don't detonate until 5 rounds unless you have something to detonate it. Alright, Samoorai. Tier 1 did damage. The upper path still did damage, but then it gave a pip to you and the target. If you chose the bottom path, it did pretty good amount of damage, and then a 30% shield to yourself. Now, tier 1 still does just damage. The upper path still just does more damage as you upgrade it. Well, the middle path does a ton less damage, but the shield is much larger at 70%. And then the bottom path does even less damage, but gives 2 60% shields. Savage Paw. Alrighty, so Savage Paw used to do damage in a blade, and that's it. Had 1 path, no extra bonuses or paths. Now, top path is the same as it used to be with the 1 single path. Now we have a middle path. If you choose that, the damage will go down, but the blade will increase to 45. And if you pick the lower path, the damage will go down a lot, but you get 2 35 blades. And the damage increases as you upgrade that. Loremaster. Previously does balance damage and then gives a weakness and a mantle. And the top path looks like it follows the previous one exactly. The middle path and the bottom path have definitely changed. Previously, the middle path did variable damage and then gave a 45 mantle. This middle path does set damage and gives 135% weakness. And previously, on the bottom path, it did the variable damage and gave a weakness, 25%. Now, this bottom one is a lot less damage and gives 2 30% weaknesses. So you're trading damage amount for more weaknesses. And for Divim's Resurgence, wow, they really made the damage go down, but they did change the mechanic on it. Previously, it did 375 balance damage and then gave 2 minus 30% healing trap, whatever you call the negative trap. Now it does 60 less damage at tier 1, but now it gives a minus 60 healing ward and a 30% trap. Sweet. In the top path, you continue to increase the damage as you upgrade it. The bottom path, however, the damage goes way down, and it's a 70% healing debuff. Maybe that's what you call that, I don't know. And a 40% trap. So way more healing, resist, and bigger trap. But there's way less damage in it, though. And finally, a Brave Sir Badger. Previously, it did 390 balance damage and then gave you a plus 25% damage bubble for 4 rounds. I don't know why they made this so complicated looking. I thought the previous one was a lot simpler, easy to figure out without all the parentheses everywhere, but whatever. And the rest of the top path just follows what this one used to do. Now they've added a second path where the damage went down, but now you have plus 35% outgoing damage bubble for 4 rounds. So your damage takes a hit, but your next damage gets a 10% increase.